You never forget the sound of footsteps that don't belong to you. That's how it began for me. Under the flickering lamps of 12th Street, the night air thick with the hum of distant traffic and something else, something breathing just out of sight. It was close to midnight when I left work, my body aching from the late shift, the glow of my phone screen, my only comfort. The city was quieter than usual, too quiet. Every sound echoed. My shoes on the pavement, the faint buzz of a faulty streetlight. That's when I saw her. She stood at the opposite corner, under a dying lamp that blinked in uneven bursts. She wasn't moving, just standing, pale, still, watching. Her face was wrong. Not ugly or distorted, just wrong. Her smile stretched wider than it should have, as if painted on by someone who didn't understand what happiness looked like. The next lamp above her flickered off. Total darkness. I blinked once, and when it blinked back on, she was gone. I told myself I imagined it. That's what anyone would have done. But I couldn't ignore how the air suddenly felt colder, how I could hear faint footsteps trailing mine, perfectly in sync, one beat behind. I saw her again the next night. Same spot, same hour, same impossible smile. This time, I stopped in the middle of the street. "Do you need something?" I called out, voice trembling despite my attempted confidence. She didn't answer. Her head tilted slightly, like she was studying me. Then she took a single, slow step forward. Something inside me screamed, "Run!" And I did. When I reached my apartment, I locked every door, double-checked the windows. My room was my sanctuary. Small, messy, but safe. I went to bed trying to convince myself it was all stress and exhaustion. But at 3:12 a.m., I woke to a sound, light tapping on the glass. My curtain moved slightly, and behind it, for the briefest second, a pale face, upside down, grinning. I stumbled backward, heart pounding. When I ripped the curtain open, nothing, just the quiet city beyond. The nights after that blurred into a cycle of dread. No matter which route I took home, she found me. Sometimes she'd be further away, across the street, half hidden in shadow. Other nights she was closer, her feet hovering a few inches above the ground like she didn't know gravity existed. People on the street didn't see her. I tried pointing her out to a passing stranger once, and the woman just frowned at me like I was drunk. I started leaving work early, but somehow she knew. One night, I turned a corner and heard it. That whisper, a soft voice, right beside my ear, though no one was there.
"Don't look back."
Of course I did. There she was, standing not 10 feet away. Her arms slowly rose, pointing at me, finger trembling with unnatural stiffness. I didn't wait to see more. I sprinted all the way home, lungs burning, ears ringing, with silence too heavy to be real. Sleep was impossible. My mind replayed her movements in slow motion, the way her head tilted, that smile choking out any thought of reason. I tried to stay awake, but exhaustion won. And then that dream. In it, I was lying in my bed, breathing hard. I could feel her hand resting on my ankle, light as a feather. When I opened my eyes, she was crawling up from the foot of my bed. I woke screaming, but the nightmare wasn't over. It wasn't a dream, because the indentation at the foot of my bed was still there, fresh, moving. That night, I decided I wouldn't run. If she wanted me, she'd find me ready. I set up my phone camera by the door, pointed at my bed. I had to know if she was real. I remember the time, 2:59 a.m. The clock glowed in the dark, heartbeat of the night. I forced myself to stay still, blanket pulled up to my chest. The room temperature dropped suddenly, my breath turning visible in the glow of the clock light. And then came the creak, slow, measured, footsteps from the hallway. The door handle twitched, once, twice. Then it turned fully. The door opened an inch, then another, until she was there, half of her face visible through the gap, The same painted smile. Her voice, if you could call it that, was like nails dragging through static.
You looked back.
The lamp burst. Darkness swallowed the room. I screamed, flailed, ran for the switch, but something cold grabbed my wrist. I could feel her skin, clammy and wrong, fingers like bone drenched in night. The world spun. I fainted. When I woke, dawn painted the room in tired gold. The door was open wide. My phone lay shattered on the floor, its camera still recording. I didn't want to watch, but curiosity anchored me. In the video, I was asleep. The door creaked open. She stepped in, floating inches above the ground. She hovered to the foot of the bed, then simply stared at me. For hours. Right before the video cut off, she looked directly at the camera, straight into the lens, and smiled, that same impossible smile. It's been 7 nights since then. I moved, quit my job, and changed my route home. Still, every night, no matter where I go, I see her. Sometimes behind a bus window, sometimes reflected in store glass. Always smiling, always waiting. I don't know what she wants. I don't even know what she is. But I know this. She appears only when I'm alone in the dark. And tonight, as I write these words, I hear the floorboards creak behind me.